Thank you for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields on this Monday. It is becoming a little more likely that some sort of storm develops in the eastern Caribbean. So I want to dive into that, some important stuff as we get closer and closer to the end of the month. A better sign, I guess that's the bad use of the word, a more likely sign that something will be developing in the Caribbean. So I want to get to that. Of course, we don't root for storms here, but I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing out there. So I'm going to dive into this in depth with our long-range tropical model for the Caribbean. I want to cover that. Plus this kind of more of an immediate situation, not so much of a huge concern, but Bermuda. We've got a developing blob nearby, and it could quickly spin up into even a named system later today as it scoots on by, but it's going to briefly move by. You see the white shading you see near Bermuda, top of your screen. That's the extra cloud cover with this spin that we're seeing that continues to work our way across Bermuda. So what does it mean for Bermuda? Let me zoom down. Here's the satellite. Now it's going to bring in some gusty winds, heavy rain for a short period of time, or at least, again, through later today into early tonight. So regardless of how this develops, my point is that it is at least going to be moving by pretty quickly as it moves up to the northeast. But that doesn't diminish the fact we're going to get some rain bands that will be possible. Even some quick localized flooding. Bermuda, we have a good infrastructure, handle things very well as a whole, but some stronger winds possible. So this map I don't always show, but this is a high resolution model. So I circled where Bermuda is, and this is through the afternoon. You see a band of rainstorms with this kind of system trying to organize, moving through all the way through 5 p.m. That's Eastern time, 6 p.m., that chance of rain. You see, again, Bermuda circled there. Most of the heavy action, though, does start to wind down pretty quickly as we get into this evening and push either north or west of Bermuda. But a system that is trying to spin up pretty quickly, but even as it passes by, one of those things, you just stay indoors, let that rain do its thing, and then we'll be in good shape. This yellow shading here, some signs of development, and that's what I was talking about in a video last week, that there could be some development there with an old front. But this system here, officially an invest, the one near Bermuda, which means the National Hurricane Center is investigating it, keeping a very close eye on it. Winds 30, 35 miles per hour. Could see some winds gusting over about 30 knots, though, with this as it moves by, trekking right through Bermuda as a whole. These are the models, just put on an array of models here. And regardless of development, some gusty winds for that short period of time and some rain working into Bermuda as I zoom down here for you. And as it moves quickly to the northeast, there's Bermuda, it could develop. But either way, it's going to kind of move its way to the, northwest, I should say, and then eventually north and northeast, getting my directions mixed up. And that could enhance some of the rain over toward Cape Cod and the islands, and then eventually, as we get over toward parts of eastern Canada. My friends in eastern Canada watching you. Newfoundland will be watching out for that higher chance of some rain and some gustier winds as we get down the road in just about a day or two. All right, this is our visible satellite. We've got an area of low pressure near the ABC Islands, very close to the peninsula by the forest in Colombia, bringing some unsettled weather, couple old fronts here, and then we have a tropical wave here. This one is of high interest because this tropical wave is going to bring some rain to the eastern Caribbean. I'll get into that in a second. Jamaica, Cayman Islands, and as we get through parts of Mexico, Belize, Honduras, better, and of course better shape for much of Mexico after the hurricane from yesterday. All right, we get a look. This is the long-term model. Let me just take you out in time, stop it here. First thing is first. This is tomorrow. We're going to see increased rain from an old front moving into Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and then this on the right-hand side of your screen, that's the tropical wave. So that moves in from the east. We have that plus what we're seeing with this front. So let me stop the clock here. Time frame, top left-hand corner of your screen. This is the 27th, which is Thursday. Two X's. One, that is the old front. The second X, that tropical wave just feeding in the tropical moisture. They both just dump that extra rain in the eastern Caribbean, which is a concern because the water temperatures are very warm. I'll dive into that further in tomorrow's video, but point being, they're very warm. So by the time we get into this upcoming weekend, something could develop. Fronts will move by to the north, which would allow this to drift a little bit more to the northwest. So it is very plausible that something could spin up as soon as this weekend in the Caribbean, become a tropical storm. Can't rule out it becoming a hurricane. It is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee that it's coming to Puerto Rico, Haiti, or the Dominican Republic. But in those locations, all the way back through Jamaica, even the ABC Islands. Please, we need to keep a close eye on this just because this time of year, things could spin up a little quicker, okay? So that's why I'm going to keep you updated on that. We've been talking about that the last few videos. If something does develop, be it by Bermuda today or in the Caribbean, the next name on the list is Lisa. So watching Bermuda, but especially as we get toward the Caribbean later this week, lots to cover. I'm going to break it down in depth. Thank you for sharing this channel. Thinking of you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.